The new iPhone is out, but we're still waiting for the charger. Is this what the 5G stocks were waiting before they can start the boom? Or are we going to see a crash in Apple stocks? We're going to talk about a lot of things today. We're going to talk about 5G stocks, 5G technology, and also a technical analysis on the Apple chart coming up after the intro. What's up, guys? This is JC, and welcome to the Wealth Engineering channel. The more you pay attention to, the more aware you become. And in this channel, we pay attention to the stocks, crypto, real estate, and business to find the best place to grow your portfolio. If this is something that interests you, make sure you go bullish on the like button, subscribe, and click the bell. I want to thank my new viewers and subscribers. Thank you for your support. I also want to thank everyone who signed up to the Technical Investor course. Welcome to the Wealth Engineering community. It is imperative that we learn how to manage our money, because once we learn how to manage our money, we can take control of our true wealth, which is our time and our freedom. But you have invested so much time in high school, university, and learned absolutely nothing about money. This is exactly why I created my technical investor course through my company, Wealth Engineering. It is a complete course designed to take the overload of information on YouTube and breaks it down piece by piece to give you clarity, focus, and direction towards building your wealth. You will learn how to make, keep, and multiply money. On top of that, I'll show you the same strategy that I've used to turn $1,000 into $19,000 in 9 months, and how you could use the same strategy to increase your net worth. The number one feedback that I get from my students is that they wish they knew this information earlier. And the best investment you can make is to invest in your financial education. So don't wait any longer and sign up for the course today. Or you can sign up for a free course, the 5 secrets you need to know before you make your first investment. Enter your email right here. It will be sent straight to your inbox. Or you can check out some of our free content on our course, Body's Wealth Engineering, as well as this bonus section right here, the next 10 years in cryptocurrencies. Make sure you check this out. This is a must-see. My content is for educational and entertainment purpose only. With that said, you came here for the truth. Let's just dive deep into it. All right, guys, the iPhone 12 is out, and all of the iPhone will have a 5G chips in them. And that's exactly what the telecommunication, like Verizon and AT&T, and even Rogers in Canada, that's exactly what they were waiting for, so that they can start the massive adoption of 5G. And we have the technology out there, we have the antennas out there. What exactly is missing is the 5G phones and 5G tools that we can use this technology for. But why exactly is this important? And what is the impact on the economy with this technology? So today I'm going to talk to you about that, and to explain it to you a little bit better, I'm going to have I have Google Map open, and we're looking at the island of Montreal right now, and I'm going to use this map as a way to explain it to you, what's the impact of this technology and how it can really open the doors to a whole new potential, to a whole new types of industry, and basically new types of potential investments as well for us. So we're going to talk about that today. Imagine 300 years ago, no technologies available. And how would you have a city here, let's call it Montreal, and you have another city here, Ottawa. How do you actually expand the economy within these two cities? So one thing you can do is you can maybe create businesses where one can talk with each other. So maybe at the time they had a mailing system with the birds flying all over the place to deliver messages, and that's gonna take a long time to really transfer messages, also to really get the economy going. And on top of that, there is this major problem of payments. How do you exchange value with such a long distance? And it doesn't even have to go to a long distance on a different city. It could even be in the same province. Like, let's say you have the island of Montreal right now, and then you have some people living in this area right here. How do you actually expand the economy within the same city, within the same province? And one thing that actually helped is the invention of cars and the invention of trucks, especially 100 years ago. It helps us switch from an agriculture industry, on an agriculture economy, into a industrialized economy. Having the car and having the truck is one thing. What you actually need to have this industry adopted on a massive scale is the roads. The roads is the whole difference, and let's call them the highways. The highways allowed for transportation, and the transportation allows for the transfer of value, and the value is being exchanged, and that is how the economy is flowing. That is how the economy is expanding, and also you can create roads and have interaction with different cities, and also the road itself. Within the road, like, you can have different businesses. So, for example, you can have a small city right here where people can buy food and buy shelter to rest in between the roads, so that they don't have, the road is not too long, so that's, they offer more value, and that offers more opportunity for investment, more opportunity for business. The highway is a major innovation that helped the industry scale. Without the highway, there would be no expansion of the industrialization of society. And this is exactly what my point. And the reason why I'm showing you this, it's because 5G is the digital highway of the 21st century. That's exactly the best way I can explain you what 5G does. 5G is going to allow many different things to be connected on the internet. Right now, we have a population of almost 7.5. We're going to reach 8 billion people in not too long. But we have a potential of having 8 billion people connected to the internet. But on top of that, with 5G, what we also have is the ability to connect things on the internet as well. So we can estimate about 20 billion people and things will be connected in the internet. And what does that do? This increases the scale of industry, the scale of value exchange. For example, imagine you have your fridge, you have a bottle of milk in there. The bottle of milk is almost done, but Amazon already know about that. They have a drones deliver a bottle of milk straight to in front of your house. You don't even have to leave your house, and your fridge is already packed with all the food that you need. This creates a new economy. It creates more potential to scale what we currently have right now. And this is exactly what 5G is doing. 5G is the highways that is interconnecting a bunch of different technology and things together and makes it scale. There is no point building a car or fast car if you have no road to drive fast onto. And that's exactly what 5G is going to allow us to do. It's going to allow us to go on a digital level. It's going to allow us to run and drive very fast. So in terms of investment, how do we take advantage of this? And I have break down the potential investment on 5G into three ways. You have the builders, and these are the companies that are actually facilitating the creation of 5G. Basically, they're creating the chips, they're creating the antennas, they're creating the electronics that's gonna go in all of different things, and it's gonna help the technology expand. So the builders alone are a huge part of this technology going forward. Then you have the providers. So having the builders is one thing, but you have the providers that's selling them as well. Think of telecommunication, think of phone, just like we're talking about iPhone. Think of VR headsets. We're going to talk about VR in another video, but think of VR headsets, virtual reality. Just the headset alone, this is exactly what's going to allow you to be connected to this new virtual world. But you also have the dependent. And these are the companies that are dependent on the 5G technology. For example, imagine gaming. Right now, we do not have 5G and gaming is exploding, but the future of gaming depends on 5G. Think of virtual reality. We actually cannot have virtual reality without having 5G, because the virtual reality is so data intensive that it needs the technology of 5G so that we can upload and download data very fast. Think of artificial intelligence. This would be dependent on 5G. Imagine having your entire fleet of cars, a taxi. Tesla can be the next Uber by having all their cars running automatically, picking up and dropping up people to their destinations. This is artificial intelligence, remote driving, but that depends on 5G because the data that the car needs to understand the road, where to go, this is a lot of data and they cannot run right now on the current system that we have. They need 5G. And these are exactly where the future is going. I also want to introduce something else, remote work. Now, I think this year alone in 2020, we've seen exactly how remote can play a big factor in changing an entire economy. And once companies have got a taste from that, how much money they can save, how much real estate, commercial real estate they can save. So they're going to be involving and investing into more to go more remote. And 5G can really help this industry expand. Imagine a doctor staying at home with their child and they can remotely operating on someone in a hospital like 1,000 miles away from where they live. Well, this is exactly what the world of 5G makes possible. So just to add a little more points on gaming, I was looking at this article and then just to drive the point of gaming across, gaming is going to be big. Imagine 27% of the gamings that were sold were in smartphone games. Then you had the console games. Think of PlayStation 5, think of Xbox. So these is where the gaming is going, and the gaming is going more smartphone, more like small and compact. Apple is a very unique company because it is one of the very few companies in the world that can actually be all three at the same time. Apple is a chip manufacturer. Actually, they have released a new chip that is making in all of their new products, the virtual reality, their tools that they're providing also helps this technology flourish, the virtual reality technology. So all together, Apple is in a state where they can really take advantage of the 5G investment and 5G business on all different levels, and there are very few companies that can do that. And I believe in the next decade, Apple is really gonna go on the next level, and Apple is really gonna grow so fast because of 5G. They actually depend on 5G to go to be adopted as fast as possible. So Apple is in a good state. So let's take a look at the Apple stock right now. So on the weekly, what I notice there is a divergence that is forming. So that is an interesting thing. So although the stock's been going up, there is slowly a divergence forming. And usually when we see a divergence, we have to expect a price correction to go, and at the very least it needs to visit the 50 line. So we're gonna wait and see of what is that going to do on long term, but that could be a great investing option if for the long term. And one of the things I love about Apple, it provides dividend. So you guys, if you have done my course, you know exactly how I feel about stocks that provides dividend. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you time the stock and buy it at a point where it actually has a lot more chance to grow. When the entire market is overvalued, and actually Apple has been one of the stock leading the way to the overvalue of the market. So you kind of want to think on a scenario where maybe you can buy the stock when it reach around this area. This may not happen in a while. We need to see after the election, in the beginning of the year, how the year starts, to see what that stock is going to do. But I believe on a long term, this is definitely a stock that you can add in your portfolio, in your watch list, and time the entry on this stock. Ideally, you want to see a rebound from this line right here. Anything below $100 for Apple is actually a good buy. But if you can also time your entry so that on the daily chart, you see the RSI touching the green line, that is an extremely good buy. And because every time it touched the green right here, it actually started skyrocketed. So you want to wait for something like this and to ride it all the way. And if you can even use the weekly chart for that, to be even more conservative, you can look into the weekly chart, wait for it to touch, and to ride it all the way up. So this is what I recommend. So whenever you see that divergence, that means it could take a long time. It could actually take 6 months, it could take a year. But whenever you see a divergence at some point, one way or another, the price has to correct to follow what exactly the indicator is showing. And right now the indicator is showing a downtrend, and we're about to test this line right here again, and that's gonna be an interesting thing to keep in mind. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this stock right here. I just wanted to talk about the impact of Apple and how and why it's a good pick for the next decade. But what happened this week with the release of the iPhone 12 and making 5G available all in all the platform, that's actually a very good news for Apple, and it's actually going to open the door to an entirely new future. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. We'll talk on the next video.